Hello and welcome to Stage 4 of the GTE event for Update 8.6. That was less of a mouthful than I said last time. In this race, we are supposed to push up to position 6. And in the next screen, it tells us that we cannot take on damage and we cannot go off track. So, shouldn't be too difficult. We'll see how far we can push the limits of this car without going off track. Starting in 11th place from a dead stop start instead of the rolling starts, which in some way is nice because for you guys who are running with assists, they should be working normal right from the start here. You shouldn't have that weird partial lap where your assists are going all wonky. Because here at Nürburgring, watch what the bots do here. They take these first set of corners so bad. I think the programming is so they don't bonk into each other. He hit me pretty good. Right here, they're going to go way far out. Easy access to the inside line. The downside of heavy steering assist is it's going to force you to drive like them. So steering assist low should be a little bit better. I used to run steering assist high, and I don't think it was too bad there. That was years ago that I did that, but... So you can see this is not a hard race. They're taking it easy on us in the first race here, I think, just so we can get used to it, because like Martinez, he's slow. Man, am I ever pulling away. And no off track, no problem. Here's where you get to see what you can do at the chicane. See, there you go. Totally not off track. And we'll do another full lap of this. I'm going to be fast forwarding through some of the stages of this day because there are some longer races. And at a certain point, you've seen everything you need to see for a given lap. So this lap, I'm showing you how you do it all on track. We'll go to the far outside here, way onto that green, not off track. Cut onto that rumble strip, not off track. Hit up to the dirt there, drive over that dirt, and then you can do this. Well, usually full throttle. I got the trajectory wrong. And then into the throttle here, staying full throttle through this corner. You can go over there a little bit if you want to, won't be off track. Same with this. I didn't go over to the left that time. You definitely can. At this point, I'm so far ahead. You can go further to the right over there without it being off track. Quite far to the right there, actually. Nürburgring is very forgiving. It's a track where you can go past the rumble strips on several corners without being off track. And by rumble strips, I mean the white and red strips you see on the sides once in a while. Also known as the curb. It might be better if I call that the curb. Not really a rumble strip. I probably should call that a curb. We're going to warp ahead here. We're now finishing this race because it was going to be the same thing, no one to see. So that's the end of that race. I skipped a lap for you. There you go. Driver XP building very slowly, but it's building. Getting close to my M maximum again. And there's the earnings. All right, easy race. So heading into this one, it just says we need to hold around 13th. That's strange. Place at least 13th. Okay, well, nothing about going off track, and these races are getting longer. I'd like to finish as high as I could because I like the earnings. So let's start doing stuff that's a little bit more, well, outside the rules, we'll say. For this race, it doesn't say you can't go off track, so I'm going to show you how you take off-track cuts at Nürburgring. Now, the downside of heavy assists is you won't be able to do these very easily. Steering assist will probably throw your car around a little bit. Brake assist won't let you do this. It'll be braking quite early. And traction control will get mad at you if you're off track and sliding at all. But let's just see. So you can head into this corner full speed, take it close to the barrier, and there's actually a section of road right after this. So you can go back on that. That road actually isn't off track once you get back onto it, which is really quite funny. I'll show you that a little bit better in the next lap here. We'll do another full lap because coming up to this first braking point, you can also cut it a little bit. Now he's right in my way, so I can't really take advantage of this too well. I'll swing over and then cut. I'll pass him here. A little bit downhill there. Oh, I did a funny video here just recently where I drifted past pretty well everyone on the very first corner. I'll throw that up at the end here. And again, full throttle here. You don't need to brake if you get the trajectory correct. No issues there. There I went a little bit more over to the left. I'm not really optimizing this for for this car yet, not pushing it to the max, but pushing it pretty good. And then coming up here again, we will go flying off track. And if this fellow isn't in my way as much, I should be able to get back on that side road and maintain some speed. Wow, it's going to be tight again. Oh, there we go. So that road right there, that road's actually not off track. It's kind of funny. In endurance races, it's really easy to see. Okay, let's go into some hyperdrive. There we go. We're going 4 times regular speed because it's kind of the same thing. So I'm in 13th. It's really gapped out here. You really can't get higher than 13th, which I'm sorry, but it really sucks because the pay for this race is just horrible because we're finishing in 13th place. 12th place guy is way too far ahead, so you don't have to cut to finish in 13th place. I just did it to finish the race quicker. But look, horrible driver XP, horrible M pay, and that's because we had to finish in 13th place. There wasn't really possible to do much better unless you like fully tuned your car, fully upgraded it. Oh well, there you go. On to the next one. Move up to position 9. All right. Well, let's just do the same thing again. So I'm going to be doing a lot of cutting on this one, some aggressive cutting. I'd like to see if I can win the race. So they're starting us in position 13. That makes sense because that's where we had to finish the last stage. But I want first place. I want the bigger earnings. I want the bigger driver XP. So that's what I'm going to do. I'm going to be cutting it up, baby. Sorry if you don't like it, but for some people, if you're having a lot of trouble, even if you run assists, pause the game right here, turn off your brake assists, turn off other stuff, do this cut, pause and turn them back on. I used to do stuff like that when I was having trouble passing certain stages and I was running with assists. I would just pause the game and toggle them off, pause it, toggle them back on again. The first 18 months of me playing this game, I used tilt A, brake assist low, steering assist high, traction control on. And that hurt me in a lot of places, but I won cars without having to fully upgrade them. And I started sometimes toggling assists off, especially on certain tracks and certain corners where assists can really hurt you. And then eventually I got really serious about this game and I thought, you know what? I want to be faster all the time. I want to be able to have fun, like drifting corners if I want to. And all that is readily available if you have your assists off. But don't get me wrong, I know very well it's a big learning curve because I went through it. So, 11th place. I'm going to cut across this. I'll just skip the chicane here. I've noticed that people say this differently. Some say chicane, some say chicane. And I'm not actually sure which is correct, but maybe someone can point me in the right direction. Well, let's go into warp speed. There we go. Not crazy warp speed. I'm doing 4 times regular speed again. But longer race, and let's just see. You'll still see if I get first place or not. You'll see how I get there. Whoa, that was not good. I was pushing that corner a little bit much. That's what you got to do. One thing you don't realize about getting used to driving with no assists, there is a lot of trial and error. You have to be okay with making mistakes, sometimes restarting a race. After a while, you learn every track and then you just slightly tweak it. So once you learn a track, you kind of know it. And there we go. 6th place is all I could do. A lot better than I had to do. Let's see, wasn't I supposed to get 9th? I'm gonna have to recheck that. Well, I definitely got 6th. I couldn't get 1st. And there we go. That's the end of that stage. And I got some decent pay. Yeah, so I was supposed to get 9th. All right, so now we have some serious issues with the vehicle. And we have to do a lot more tuning. Again, I'm kind of tweaking my approach as I go along here. So far, I've been focusing my principal XP on speed-related things because this car already has amazing grip and brakes. Now, if you're low on gold, you could spend way more M dollars here, but you can't get away from spending gold. You're going to have to buy principal XP, but you could really spend piles of M dollars and do all of the M tuning, and then you will be able to spend less gold. However, you will lose all of your tuning. The only thing you get to keep is principal XP. So bear that in mind. The permanent part of this is principal XP. So that's where I'm going to be focusing a little bit more of my efforts going forward, because I get to keep that. So here we have an overheating engine, and I'm going to stop talking here so you can hear your warning sound. Okay, so you heard that little ding, and then it started flashing. You can stay full throttle into about, I think it's 3 dings. And after that, if you don't get off the gas immediately, you're going to blow up your engine, and there's nothing that'll fix it then. You're just going to fail the stage. But you can get away with 2 or 3 dings. I'm going to push that a little bit further. Now, you'll notice that you don't have the option of an automatic accelerator. That's because that's going to overheat your engine big time. So you can get off the gas early and do some coasting. However, I still want to finish as high as possible. So I'll do a little bit of that to manage my engine temperature. I want to take advantage of the straightaways, and so I'm going to try to do a little bit of coasting in the corners. That's where the bots are really bad anyways. And then I want to use up my engine on the straight sections. So this is going to be, here I'm just lifting. You see that? I'm not touching the brakes. That's just so I give a little more coasting time. And then I'm going to stay full throttle. And to really manage your engine, you shouldn't be taking off-track cuts. But I'm going to push it. I'm going to push the envelope here because I want to. And there we go. So definitely getting warmer. And then we have another speed run here. But you know what? We're going to skip several laps here. This is a really long race. So I've gone ahead, very close to blowing up my engine there. I was pushing that. I want to win this race. I want to be in the lead. And very long race, and it's a night race. And really important tip for night races, turn your device brightness, turn it to maximum, and that's going to make it easier for you to do this race. But yeah, I've skipped a few laps there because it's just the same thing again and again. I've already explained what to do. You lift off the throttle early to coast through the corners like I'm doing there. I'm managing this. I went into that corner wrong, so Santos got around me, and then I did that wrong. And I'm really close to overheating. Now there's a lapped car there, and I'll just take him out if I have to. I'm going to win this race. Whatever it takes, I will win it. That's going to be very close to overheating again. And Santos is right on my tail, so let's push it. And there we go. Santos is going to take that last chicane horribly, and he probably got tangled up with that bot. And I am very happy to get a victory so that I can get maximum earnings. And let's see what those look like. Yeah, said I just had to finish in 6th place. No, thank you. I'll get maximum driver XP for finishing first. And maximum M dollars. And I definitely can't get all of those. I've now maxed out. But I will still get my bonus amount at the end of this race. You get your bonuses even if you've maximized your daily earnings. So you'll see that here as the M dollar bonus gets applied. And here's the playlist link if you haven't seen the other stages, as well as something else for your entertainment value. Thank you for joining me.